Okay, for question 1 here, go ahead and graph those, and really what leads me to question 2, what type of quadrilateral are we looking at? So let's plot those points first. -5, -5, 6, -8, 2, -8, 2, -5, -2, -2, 2. All right. So looking at the shape, I would say we're looking at possibly a rhombus, a square, or maybe just a parallelogram. So to narrow that down, find me those side links like they state in part A. So go through and use your good old distance formula to find me those side links. So I'm going to show you again how we find the distance formula. I'm going to go find the length of AD. All right, AD, x2 minus x1, just be consistent in what you start with, and then y2 minus y1. -3 squared and 4 squared. 9 plus 16 is the square root of 25. The square root of 25 is perfect. Now, I had already gone through, and you should go through and find me the other 3 side links. When you calculate those, the other 3 side links will also turn out to be 5s. So every side length is 5. So at the moment, we can say it appears to be a rhombus or square, since all the side lengths turn out to be the same. What's going to separate the rhombus from the square is part B and finding the slopes. So we now go through and find the slopes of those 4 sides, and let's then see what the slopes look like. So for AB, rise over, run it, calculate me those slopes, okay? The slope for AB turns out to be 4/3. And then go find me AD, that's the adjacent side. AD turns out to be a -4/3. DC, go find me the slope. And again, I had already done these calculations in class. Just rise over, run it, and BC. Now, you got the information here, so what does this imply? If it's a square, the adjacent sides, so AB is adjacent to AD, they should be negative reciprocals, and they are not. Yes, one's positive, one's negative, but they are not negative reciprocals. So they are not perpendicular. It does not have a right angle. It is not a square. This then turns out to be a rhombus. And the reason why we can then say it's a rhombus is what we do have then is the opposite sides being parallel. Whoops, this is not the opposite side. This is the opposite side. AB is parallel to DC because the parallel sides have the same slope. So we can then say it appears to be a rhombus or a square. In part B, we can definitively say it is a rhombus, since 2 things. Since the sides are all congruent, and the adjacent sides are not perpendicular due to no negative reciprocal. I did not spell reciprocal right. Reciprocal slopes. But opposite sides are parallel since the slopes are the same. It's a lot to write up, but your work goes along with that write-up, so that will definitively tell us we have a rhombus. Okay, repeat that on question 3. Tell me what type of graph we have here, what type of quadrilateral, by finding sides, by finding slopes, and bringing it all together. And I'm going to go ahead and just find out, write down all my work for the sides and slopes. Make sure you get those same links, get the same slopes and what type of quadrilateral we get here.